public and in private, hurt and humiliation. But this I cannot take. No, wait, here's what has happened. There's a general order issued, and again, it hits us hardest. The ones we love, it says, are enemies of the state, to be considered traitors.
How so? What do you mean?
I mean, if you not heard.
What I heard was enough. Our 2 brothers are dead. The Argos' troops withdrawn, and the pair of us left to cope. But what's next? I don't know.
That's why I came outside. The walls in there have ears. This is for your ears only.
What is it? You have me scared.
Right, you are to be scared. Creon has made a law. Eteocles has been buried as a soldier with full honors, so he's gone home to the dead. But not Polynices. Polynices is denied any burial at all. Word has come down from Creon. There's to be no laying to rest, no mourning, and the corpse is to be publicly dishonored. His body's to be dumped, disposed of like a carcass. If you so much as throw in the common handful of clay, you'll have committed a crime. This is law and order in the land of good King Creon. This is his edict for you and for me, as many for me, and he's coming to announce it. I'll flush them out, he says. Whoever's in for us is against us. In this case, whoever breaks the law, I'll have them stoned to death. I say, he's put it to us. I say, it's a test you're facing, whether you are who you are, true to your seed and breed and generation, or whether—
Antigone! Antigone, what do you mean a test? If things have gone this far, what is there I can do?
You can help me do one thing.
What thing is that?
His body. Help me to lift and lay your brother's body.
And bury him no matter—
Are we sister, sister, brother, or traitor? Coward, coward.
What about Creon's order?
What are Creon's rights when it comes to me and mine?
Is he not my sister? Think this through for a minute. Think of the line we come from. We're children of Oedipus, daughters of the man who fathered us on his mother. The king they drove from their city, no matter he didn't know. No matter was Oedipus brought his own crimes to light and then reached into his eyes and tore them out of their sockets. Still, they drove him out. Oedipus had to perish. And then his wife, the mother, who had bared her breast for him in the childbed, in the bride bed, she hanged herself in a noose. And now, this last thing happens, and the doom in our blood comes back, and brother slaughters brother, the 2 of them dead in a day. Are you and I to be next? How do you think they see us? How do you think we fare if we went against the order? 2 women on our own, faced with the death decree. Woman to find Creon, it's not a woman's place. We're weak where they are strong. Whether it's this or worse, we must do as we're told. In the land of the living, sister, the laws of the land obtain. And the dead know that as well. The dead will have to forgive me. I'll be ruled by Creon's word. Anything else is madness.
You and the laws of the land. Sister, let me tell you, from now on, and no matter how your mind may change, I will never accept your help. I will bury him myself. And if death comes, so be it. There'll be a glory in it. I'll go down to the underworld, hand in hand with a brother, and I'll go with my head held high. Gods will be proud of me. Land of the living, sister, is neither here nor there. We enter it and we leave it. The dead in the land of the dead are the ones you are going to be with longest, and how are you going to face them, as many, if you dishonor their laws and the God's law?
Dishonor them I do not, but nor am I strong enough to defy the laws of the land.
Live then, and live with your choice. I'm going to bury his body.
I fear for you, Antigone.
You better fear for yourself.
Stop, this must never get out.
No, broadcast it! You and your cover-up sicken me. I have nothing to hide from the powers that see all. I'm doing what has to be done.
What are you, Antigone? Hot-headed or cold-blooded? This thing cannot be done.
But it still has to be tried.
You are mad. You don't have a chance.
Here and now, as many, I hate you for this talk. And the dead are going to hate you. Call me mad if you like, but leave me alone to do it. If Creon has me killed, where's the disgrace in that? The disgrace would be to avoid it.
Nothing's going to stop you! But nothing's going to stop the ones that love you, sister, from keeping on loving you!
but Polynices and Antiochus, the only trophies that they took at least were each other's lives. Their doom was sealed, the banners flew, the battle raged. They fell together, their father's son.
Glory to the victory, I can feel the rays fanning the air. The joy in my eyes is the joy in hers, dazzling the city she made. Dance to the chariots, run to the temples, the earth from morning till late. Glory to the God of dance, blackest burn away the dark. Glory be to brightness, to the gleaming world. Be to brightness, to the gleaming world. Glory be to brightness, to the gleaming world. Be to brightness, to the King Creon! All hail King Creon! He's a new king, but he's right for the city at this moment. Now we will know what's what, and why he has sent for us to be privy to his thinking.
Citizens, we have entered calmer waters. Our ship of state was very nearly wrecked, but the gods have kept her safe. So, friends, well done! You, from the start, have been a loyal crew. You stood by Oedipus when he was at the helm, and when his sons stepped in to take his place, you stood by them as well. But now, they're gone. Two brothers badged red with each other's blood. And I, as next of kin to those dead and doomed, I'm next in line. The throne has come to me. Until a man has passed this test of office and proved himself in the exercise of power, he can't truly be known for what he is. I mean, in his heart and mind and capabilities. Worst is the man who has all the good advice, but because his nerve fails to act in accordance with it, as a leader should. And equally to blame is anyone who puts the personal above the overall rest, puts friend or family first. But rest assured, my nerve is not going to fail, and there is no threat. And there is no threat that's going to stop me acting ever in the interest of all citizens. Nor will I ever have anything to do with my country's enemy. For the patriot, personal loyalty must always give way to patriotic duty. Solidarity, friends, is what we need. The whole crew must close ranks. The safety of our state depends upon it. Our trust, our friendships, our security, good order in the city, and our greatness. Understand, therefore, that I intend to make good what I say by what I do. And hear this first. This ordinance is binding. Concerning the sons of Oedipus, Eteocles, who fell in our defense, Eteocles will be buried with full honors as a hero of his country. But his brother Polynices, an exile who came back to visit us with fire and sword, a traitor, an anti-Theban Theban, prepared to kill his own countrymen and desecrate the shrines of his gods. Hear this about Polynices. He's forbidden any ceremonial whatsoever. No keening, no interment, no observance of any of the rites. Thereby he's adjudged a carcass for the dogs and birds to feed on. And nobody, let it be understood that nobody is to treat him otherwise as the obscenity he was and is. This is where I stand when it comes to Thebes. Never to grant traitors and subversives equal footing with loyal citizens, but to honor patriots in life and in death.
Loud and clear, King Creon. You've laid down the law.
You exercise the power. Your regulations hold for the living and the dead.
And that is why from now on I regard you as agents of law.
Younger souls would be better for that job.
I don't mean you to walk on the ground. Naturally, I have guards out there as we speak.
Then why do you call us agents of the law?
I mean you're not to lend the least support to anyone who'd go against the order.
But who do that? Who choose to be dead?
Death, yes, it would be. But you never know. There's always money lurking. And I never underestimate the lure of money.
So, I wouldn't exactly say I was panting to be here. Far from it. As a matter of fact, I was more for turning back. I was over a barrel. One part of me was saying, only a loony would walk into something like this. Then another part was saying that you'd be a bigger loony not to get to Creon first. It was like, okay, you take the high road, I'll take the low road. And then get a move on. And then, what's your hurry? When all was said and done, there was only one thing for it. To get here, get it out and get it over, no matter what. So here I am, the old dog for the hard road. Old me says I will be.
What has got you in this state, guard?
First off, boss, you must know that I'm in the clear. I didn't do the deed, I didn't see who did it, and therefore, in fairness, I should be blamed for it.
Why do you need such fences and defenses? Your news is hardly all that desperate.
It's desperate enough to panic me, Your Honor.
Get it out, man, as you say for yourself. And get it over with.
Here's what it is. The corpse. Somebody has as good as buried it. Somebody's after attending to it right, casting the earth on it and all the rest.
What are you saying? What man would dare to do this?
That for the life of me, I couldn't tell. There wasn't so much as a scrape left on the ground. No sign of pickwork or that class of thing. No rut marks from a wheel. Nothing but the land. The old, hard Scrabble. Whoever did it was a mystery man entirely. When the sentry showed us this morning, we were stunned. The corpse had actually gone and disappeared. But then it turned out it was only hidden under this coat of dust. As if somebody had treated it, just to be on the safe side. Somebody observing all the customs. There were no tears in the flesh, sir, so it couldn't have been dogs or wild animals. And then the row broke out. Everybody shouting, one man blaming the next and ready to fight to prove his innocence. We would have put our hands in fire to clear ourselves, swearing by this and that we had neither done the deed nor knew who did it. And then when we had more or less calmed down, one man speaks up and panics us again. And what he stated was the obvious. That you'd have to be told the thing could be hid no longer. So that was agreed upon, and I was the lucky man. I drew the short straw, and that, sir, is why I'm here. The one that's never welcome. The bearer of bad news.
Creon, sir! I cannot help but think the gods have hidden this somewhere.
No! Do not anger me! Your age, my friend, still does not give you the right to talk such rubbish! The gods, you think, are going to attend to this particular corpse? Did they hide him under clay for his religion? For coming to burn their colonnaded temples? For attacking the city under their protection? The gods, you think, will side with the likes of him? Now here is something else for you to think about. For a good while now, I've had reports of certain disaffected elements at work here. A certain poisonous minority unready to admit the rule of law. And my law in particular. I know these people and how they operate. Maybe they're not the actual perpetrators, but they possess the means to bribe their way. Money has a long and sinister reach. It slips into the system, changes hands, and starts to eat away at the foundations of everything that we stand for. Money brings down leaders, warps minds, and generally corrupts people and institutions. In this case, whoever took the bribe will pay the price. You then, listen to this, for this is my solemn vow. If you do not apprehend, arrest, and bring before me the one who interred the corpse, I'll hang you out and have you so carved up and pulled apart, you'll be bleeding to be dead. You'll understand then what interest your kind of money earns. You can't, friend, have your palms greased and expect to get away clean. Everything comes out.
Can I say a word or am I just dismissed?
Dismissed. You and your news disturb me.
It's your conscience that's doing the disturbing.
Watch it, guard. You're overstepping here.
It's that mystery man that really has you bothered.
I warn you. You should keep a civil tongue.
But I didn't do this. Yes, you did! No, what's happening at Creole is that the judge has misjudged everything.
And what I'm telling you is this. Unless you expose the guilty party to me, you'll rue the day you walk into this place.
Yes, expose him, bring him in. Be that as it may be, one thing is for sure. Yours truly won't be back here in a hurry. Me that was done for. He can't. I'm off.
Among the many wonders of the world, where is the equal of this creature man? First he was shivering on the shore in skins, or paddling a dugout terrified of drowning. Then he took up oars, put tackle on a mast, and steered himself by the stars through gales. Once upon a time, from the womb of earth, the gods were born, and he bowed down to worship them. He worked the land, stuck the forests, and harnessed stallions. His furrows cropped, he feasted his eyes on hay and herds as far as the horizon.
Mientras techaron su casa contra el granizo y la lluvia, y hecho leyes para vivir en paz.
The wind is no more swift or mysterious than his mind and words, his mind and words. He is master. House against hail and rain, and worked out laws for living together. Homemaker, thought taker, measure of all things. He can heal with earthly the heavens. Nothing seems beyond him when he yields to his gods, when the truth is the treadle of his loom, and justice the shuttle. He'll be shown respect, the city will reward him. But let him once overstep what the city allows, tramp down right or treat the law, willfully as his own word. Then let this wonder of the world remember, he'll have put himself
Antigone!
Child of Doom! Have you gone and broken the law?
This is the one. We caught her at it. Attending to the corpse. Where's Creon gone?
Creon knows when he's needed. He's coming now.
Needed. Why am I needed?
King Creon, sir, there's no such thing as an oath that cannot be broken. Circumstances change and your mind changes. After the going over you gave me here, I swore I was off for good. But sometimes the thing you'd hardly let yourself imagine actually happens. So here I am again. And here's the one. I was covering up the corpse. I was on to her in a flash. My prisoner and mine alone. No need to draw lots this time, I can tell you. And now, sir, she's yours. It's up to you to judge her and convict her. Let me go. I deserve to be discharged. My job is done.
How did you come on her?
At her word for all to see in telling Polynices.
And you stand over this. This is the truth.
I saw her burying the body. You said nobody was to bury. Will that do?
How was she observed and caught? Describe it.
While describing, gladly. After your tongue lashing, I went back and joined the guard and told them that we were all marked men. So we did what we could do. We approached the corpse again and cleaned it out and peeled away the clothes. It was going off. So we stationed ourselves around the hill, and every man on guard, watching the other man and ready to pounce the minute he nodded off. And all the while, there's a fireball of a sun going up and up the sky until at midday you could hardly bear it. And the ground was like a gridiron. And then what happened? A whirlwind out of nowhere, leaves whipped off trees, flying sand and dust. The plains below us disappeared, and the path up, and the hills on the horizon. It was like the sky was vomiting black air. So we closed our eyes and braced ourselves for whatever plague it was the gods were sending. But then it clears, and this one standing, crying her eyes out. She looks at the bare corpse and lets out a screech and starts to curse whoever did the deed. She was like a wild bird around an empty nest. She raises dust in her hands and lets it fall. She pours water 3 times from her urn, taking care to do the whole thing right. And showed no signs of panic when we trapped her. Did I not think she was accused of doing then or earlier? But here it was very strange. I felt a sadness come over me. It's one thing to be let off the hook yourself, another thing to land your friends in trouble. But if I don't take care of myself, then who will?
You there, studying the ground. Hold up your head and tell us, is this true?
True. I admit it.
All right, you're on the clear. So clear on now! You then, tell me, and be quick about it. Did you or did you not know that the proclamation forbade all of this?
I did know. How could I not? Didn't everybody?
And still, you dared to disobey the law!
I disobeyed because the law was not the law of Zeus, nor the law ordained by justice. Justice dwelling deep among the gods of the dead. What they decree is immemorial and binding for us all. Proclamation had your force behind it, but it was a mortal force. And I, also a mortal, I chose to disregard it. I abide by statutes utter and immutable, original, unwritten, God-given laws! Was I going to humor you or honor gods? Sooner or later, I'll die anyhow. Sooner may be better in my case. This death penalty is almost a relief. If I had to live and suffer in the knowledge that Polynices was lying above ground, insulted and defiled, that would be worse than suffering any doom of yours. You think I'm just a reckless woman? Never, Creon, forget. Yourself would be the reckless one!
Go on, as if it comes from Oedipus!
She gives a
father.
She won't relent.
We'll wait and see. The bigger the resistance, the bigger is the collapse. Iron that's forged the hardest often snaps the quickest. Wild she well may be, but even the wildest horses come to heel when they're reined and bitted right. Subordinates were just not made for insubordination. When she defied the general order, Antigone had gone too far, but flaunting that defiance in my face puts her beyond the pale. Who does she think she is? The man in charge? Am I to be the woman of the house and take her orders? She has brought death sentences upon herself and her sister. Yes. Many is involved in this thing too. The pair of them, my own sister's daughters in it up to the hilt. But neither seed nor breed will save them now. Get everybody out here! She was inside in the house a while ago, raving out of her mind. That's what guilt does to some people. They simply break and everything comes out. But the barefaced ones, the ones who defy you even more, once they're found, they're the worst again.
Will it be enough for you to see me executed?
More than enough.
Then why don't you do it quickly? Anything I have to say to you or you to me only deepens the wound. I never did a nobler thing than bury my brother Polynices. And if these souls weren't so afraid to sound unpatriotic, they would say the same. But you are king, and because you are king, you won't be contradicted.
So you know something nobody else in Thebes knows.
They know it too. They're just afraid to say it.
You're so high and mighty, you have no qualms.
None. There's no shame in burying a brother.
Your brother Eteocles also died in the war.
My father, my mother's son, is dead.
And dishonored when you honor Polynices.
The dead aren't going to begrudge the dead.
So wrongdoers and the ones wrong fare the same.
Polynices was no common criminal.
He terrorized us. Eteocles stood by us.
Religion dictates the burial of the dead.
He plays the same for the loyal and the disloyal.
Who knows what loyalty is in the underworld?
Even there I know my
And
enemy.
I would know my friend! Where I assist with love, you set at odds.
Go then. Love your fate in the underworld. No woman will dictate the law to me.
Ismene, look! In tears!
For her sister.
For herself.
You bloodsucker, you two-faced parasite, the pair of you at me like a pair of leeches, two vipers spitting venom at the throne. Speak you now. You helped her, didn't you? Or are you going to claim that you're innocent?
I helped her, yes, if I'm allowed to say so. And now I stand with her to take what comes.
Don't allow this. Justice won't allow it. You wouldn't help. We cut all ties. It's over.
But now I'm with you. I want to throw myself like a lifeline to you in your sea of troubles.
Too late, my sister. You chose a safe line first. The dead in Hades know who did this deed.
Antigone, don't rob me of all honor. Let me die with you and act right by the
You
dead.
can't just pluck your honor off a bush you didn't plant. You forfeited your right.
If Antigone dies, how will I keep on living?
Ask Creon, since you seem so fond of him.
What good does it do to you to see the knife like this?
I can't help it, dear heart. It hurts me too.
But even at this stage, can I not do something?
You can save yourself. That is my honest wish.
And be forever shamed in my own eyes.
You made a choice. You bear the consequence.
I was against your choice and made it clear.
One world stood by you. One stood by me.
Different worlds, both equally offended.
Take heart as many. You are still alive. I have long gone over to the dead.
This is incredible. One of these had the father's madness in her from the start, but I never expected to see it in you, Ismene.
You think, Creon, when you drive us to the edge, we won't go over.
You went over long ago, the minute you linked up with this one here.
My sister's an easy of my life!
Your sister was. There's no is anymore.
You mean you'd kill your own son's bride-to-be?
I would, and will. He has other fields to plow.
He loves her utterly. For him, there's no one else.
No son of mine will take a condemned wife.
Oh, poor Haman, to have you as a father!
Oh, you and your marriage talks. Too late for that.
Do you mean, sir, you rob Haman of this woman?
Hades will rob him first.
The sentence, though, has been decided on?
It has. By me. And remember, I have your acclamation. Get away from here! And the other one. Women were never meant to be in this assembly, and from now on, they'll be kept in bliss. And better be. Yes, keep an eye on them. Once the end is in sight, they all get desperate. Even the bravest will make a run for it.
Shake a house, that family's going to feel the blow. Generation after generation, it starts like an undulation underwater. A surge that hauls black sand up from the bottom and turns itself to a tidal current, lashing the shingle and shaking promontory. I see the sorrows of this ancient house. They come the inmates and keep breaking on them, like foaming wave on wave across the strand. They stagger to their feet and struggle on. But the gods do not relent, the living fall, where the dead fell in their day. Generation after generation, a light that seemed about to glow. A hope for the house of Oedipus has died. Dust cast the corpse, extinguished it. Blood-stained dust, a defiant spirit, the fury and backlash of overbearing words. On high, beyond all human reach, nothing outwits you and nothing ever will. Cannot be loved by sleep or slowed by time. Oh, dazzle on Olympus or power made light. Now and forever your lawyers manifest, all good fortune comes to mortal that isn't paid for in the court of pain. man, but just as often they are will-o'-the-wisps that send them wide-eyed into fire and flood. Now it has been said the man obsessed is a cock of the walk in a hurry towards the worst. Luck is little more than a short reprieve that the gods allow.
Well, look, there's Haman!
Haman! Be easy with him, sir. Allow a youngest to say his say. He'll be beyond himself. He'll gone wild.
He'll know his father doomed his bride to death.
Unlike you, citizens, I do not possess clairvoyant powers. I prefer to wait and hear what Haman has to say for himself. Haman, son, the judgment that I pronounced is what the law requires. Are you here to rant and rage against me, or are we still father dear and father's son as ever?
Yes, Father. Father's son. I do rely on your wisdom and experience, and would want no match or marriage to displace you ever.
That's how it is and how it should be, Haman. It's right for the son to heed his father's judgment. That's what all men pray for. Children would show a due respect, to make their father's enemies their enemies and his friends their friends. Nothing gives an enemy more pleasure than to see you let down by the child you reared. That is a bitter pill to have to swallow. Don't, Haman, lose your wits over a woman. You're wild for her, but once the thing is done, there and then she turns cold comfort. Nothing is worse than marrying yourself to a woman that's no good. Nothing cuts as deep as when the one closest to you turns against you. That's why I say, have nothing to do with her. If she needs a husband, let Hades find her one. But of this, you can be certain. I won't be making a liar of myself in front of the city. She and she alone defied the order, deliberately and openly, so she shall perish. Let her beseech Zeus to her heart's content, to guarantee the bond of family blood. My family too has bonds they need to honor. They must observe the discipline that I expect from every citizen. The city has to see the standards of public man reflected in his private conduct. He has to be a man ready to abide by his own orders, a comrade you can depend on in battle. When discipline goes, self-discipline goes as well. And once that happens, cities, homes, and armies collapse. Inevitably, failure of rule is the most destructive thing. That's why I say, have nothing to do with her. And that is why no woman here will be allowed to walk all over us. Otherwise, as men, we will be disgraced. We won't deserve the name.
Well, we are weary.
So perhaps our judgment's shaky.
But what you're saying seems to make good sense.
The use of reason, Father. The gods have given us the use of reason. But do we use it right? Do I? Do you? It's hard to know. But this much I can tell you. When you hear things you'd rather not be hearing, you get worked up. So therefore, people shield you. But not me, Father. I hear everything. Or overhear it. And all that's talked about in this city now is Antigone. People are heartbroken for her. What they're asking, did she do so wrong? What deserves a punishment like this? As far as they're concerned, she should be honored. A woman who rebelled. Rebelled when her brother's corpse was fed like meat to the carrion crows. She was heroic. That's what's being said behind closed doors. Believe me, Father, nothing means more to me than you and your good name. What else could? Father's son. Son, father. That regard is natural and mutual. For your own sake, then, I ask you, reconsider. Nobody can be sure they're always right. The ones who are fullest of themselves that wear the emptiest vessels. There's no shame in taking good advice. It's a sign of wisdom. If a river floods, the trees on the bank that bend to it survive. If a skipper doesn't slacken sail in storm, his whole crew ends up clinging to the keel. So swallow pride and anger. Allow yourself to change. I'm young, I know, but I offer you this thought. All of us would like to have been born infallible, but since we know we weren't, it's better to attend to those who speak in honesty and good faith and learn from them.
You should take good note, Creon, of Haman's words, and he of yours. You both say sound things.
So man, my age, you're telling me, must take instructions from a man of his.
Only if it is the right instruction. The rightness is what matters, not the age.
Rightness? What rightness? Aren't you against the law?
I am not, and I don't want you to be.
Isn't that why Antigone's a danger?
People here in Thebes don't seem to think so.
My orders come from the people and from Thebes.
Can you hear yourself? What age do you sound now?
Who's to take charge? The ruler or the ruled?
There's no city that belongs in single hands.
Rulers, I thought, were meant to be in charge.
You should be in charge is in a desert.
Look at him. He's on the woman's side.
Are you a woman? I am on your side, Father.
On my side, but always going against me.
Not against you, against your going wrong.
Am I wrong to wield the powers vested in me?
Do they give you rights to disregard the gods?
Son, you're pathetic. You give in to a woman.
But to nothing that's forbidden or that's wrong.
Oh, everything you say is on her behalf.
And yours, and mine, and the gods under the earth.
You'll never marry her while she draws breath.
You shall have to die and another with her.
Has it come to this? Is this an open threat?
It's my resolution. Read it as you wish.
Oh, you knew the day you brought it upon yourself to lecture me! You're real, know nothing!
You are my father!
That's enough! The woman has you round a little finger!
Showing me help still doesn't make you right!
By all the gods that look down from Olympus, I'm telling you, you'll pay a heavy price for this disrespect. Bring her out and do away with her, so that her groom can watch the deed being done.
Never! Never, Father, again will you set eyes on me. You're deranged. Let whoever can abide you watch her die.
King Creon, a younger man like that out of control. He could do anything.
He can do his worst then! And good luck to him. It still won't change the fate of those two women.
Two, you say? Have you condemned them both?
No, you're right. One didn't lift a finger.
But Antigone? You actually considered how you're going to put Antigone to death?
Up in the rocks. Up where no one goes. There's a steep path that leads higher to a cave. She'll be put in there, and some food with her to ward off any blood guilt from the city. And once she's in, she can pray to her heart's content to a god of death. After all that Hades talk, it'll be her chance to see if he can save her.
That can't be withstood. Love that scatters fortune. Love like a green fern shading the cheek of a sleeping girl. Love like from away. Love, you wield your power over mortal and immortal.
sexual smiling. The goddess Aphrodite is irresistible.
Love, mounts to the throne of law. But the law and all it stands for cannot hold back my tears. Antigone, you are a bride.
You are a bride.
Antigone, you are a bride.
She is a bride.
Antigone, you are a bride. Being given away to death.
Given away to death! Remember this, citizens. I am late on Hades' arm. Taking my last look. My last walk in the light. Soon the sun will go out on a silent, starless shore. Hades will step aside. He will give me to Acheron, lord of the pitch-black lake. And that bridegroom's cold hand will take my hand in the dark.
Steadfast Antigone, never before did death open his stone door to one so radiant. He would not live a lie. Vindicated, lauded, age and disease outwitted, you go with head held high.
I am like Niobe. Niobe turned to stone. In the thawing snow and rain, a rock that weeps forever. Like ivy in a shower, sluicing down the ridge of high Mount Sibylus.
Niobe was immortal, skyborn, far beyond us, for we are born of the earth. But someone as glorious in life and in death as you can also seem immortal.
Stop! Enough! Don't mock! Release my God! I'm still alive! And I dread to leave our groves and springs. Oh, fortunate souls of Thebes! Oh, my thieves of the chariots, farewell. I'm going away. Under my rock-piled roof. A warder waits at the mound. I'll be shut in my halfway house. Unwept by those alive. Unwelcomed as yet by the dead.
Ah, child, you were carried away, but now you're halted in hall before implacable justice.
Paying perhaps in your life for the past life of your father.
There. You've hit home. Over and over again, because I am who I am. I retrace that fatal line and the ghastly love I sprang from. My father weds his mother. He mounts her. Me and mine, his half-sisters and brothers, are born in their sullied bed. These are the stricken dead I'm going to meet in Hades.
You go because you are noble.
Your nobility mitigates the offense you gave. But power and everyone who wields it will brook no opposition. You were headstrong and self-willed. And now, you suffer for it.
No flinching then at fate. No wedding guests. No wake. No keen. No panegyric. I close my eye on the sun. I turn my back on the light.
People have the chance to keen themselves before they died, they'll weep and wail forever. That's enough. Just get ready and march. March to the rock wall, wall her in and leave. After that, it'll be up to her to choose. She can live there under dry stone or can die. There's no blood on my hands here. It was she who put herself beyond the pale. She is to blame for every blackout stone they pile up around her.
Stone of my wedding chamber, stone of my tomb, stone of my prison roof and prison floor. Behind you and beyond you stand the dead. They are my people, and they are waiting for me. And when they see me coming down the road, they'll hurry out to meet me, all of them. My father and my mother first. And Antiochus, my brother. As dear to me as when I washed and dressed and laid them out. Polynices, when I did the same for you. When I did what people know in their heart of hearts was right, I was doomed for it. Not for a husband, not even for a son would I have broken the law. Another husband I could always find and have a son by him if one were lost. But with my father gone and my mother gone, where can I find another brother ever? The law of this same logic I obeyed when I disobeyed Creon. It's a rule of life. And all Creon can see is a crazy girl he must get rid of. Have I offended gods? Do the gods have no regard for what I did? Where can I turn if they have turned away? Right observance put me in the wrong. And if that's the God's verdict, so be it. I'll have transgressed and will suffer gladly. But if the wrong was laid upon me wrongly by these unjust ones, then let their penalty be no less than the one they've doomed me to.
He's still unreconciled.
As stupid as ever.
The quicker than they move her on, the better.
This man's words are as cold as death itself.
They're meant to be. Meant to destroy your hope. The judgment stands. The law must take its course.
Now gods of thieves, look down through my native streets and fields. I'm being marched away. And never, you souls of Thebes, forget what you saw today. Oedipus' daughter, the last of his royal house, condemned. And condemned for what? For practicing devotion, for a reverence that was right.
Was walled up in the dark, princess daughter, imprisoned by her father, barred and bolted in a tower shoots a battering ray of light. A flash and cloudburst, blossom stripping shower, ungirdled and disheveled her with gold. Fate finds strange ways to fulfill its ends, not military power, nor the power of money, not battlements of stone or black hole fleets can fend off fate or keep its force at bay. Can fend off fate or keep its force at bay. Blood under Maynard's nails on the mountain path, cries on the wind, weeping heard in the palace. Whoever has been spared the worst is lucky. Whoever has been spared the worst is lucky.
My lord, my countrymen, I know you're there. I've been carefully traveling down the roads, following the whispers and the cries. But as you know, a man that's blind always needs a guide.
Tiresias, you venerable man, what news have you brought me this time?
News that even you would be as well to heed.
Oh, when did I not? Prophetic father, heed you.
Isn't that why your ship is stayed on course?
You've got me right. I know it in my bones.
Then know this. Where you're standing at right now is a cliff's edge. And there's cold wind.
Why do you always put this shiver through me?
Because I have the power to see and warm. I know things once I sit in that stone chair and the birds begin to skirl above my head. But never in all my years have I heard the likes of the screams and screeches that I heard this day. There was no meaning to them. I knew by the whirl of wings and the rips and spits of blood the birds were mad. I was afraid. So once the blaze was lit on the altar stone, I brought my offerings. But the fire had no effect. It wouldn't take. And none of the bits would burn. Flame! Slime is what I got instead of flame. The matter oozed from near the bone. The fat stayed raw and wept into the ash. Everywhere there was this spattered gall from the burst of the gallbladder. Slurry, smoke, dirt. Some deep vault calls this. I'm a blind man showing you what I saw. There was no sign to be read. The right had failed. Because of you, Creon. You and your headstrongness. That body lying out there decomposing. It's where all the contagion starts. The dogs and birds are at it. Day and night spreading reek and rot over every altar stone and temple step. And the gods are revolted. That's why we have this plague, this vile pollution. That's why my birds in flight aren't making sense. They're feeding on his flesh. Consider well, my son. All men make mistakes. But mistakes don't have to be forever. They can be admitted in its own form. It's the overbearing man who is to blame. What? Pull back. Yield to the dead. Don't stab a ghost. What can you win when you only wound a corpse? I have good advice. And have good this. The easiest thing would be for you to take it.
Why am I standing out here like a target, huh? Why is every arrow pointed at me? You, Tiresias, you and your whole fortune-telling tribe have bled me white. But not anymore. Whoever wants can cross your palms with silver, but they still won't get that body underground. None of your pollution talk scares me. Not if Zeus himself would send his eagle to scavenge on that flesh and then shit it down. Not even that would put me back on my word. Nothing done on earth can defile the gods, but even the wisest man on earth, old man, has been corrupted the minute he started delivering fake truths on demand.
This is bad. Does nobody realize?
Does nobody realize what?
Honest advice is not a thing that you can buy.
The witlessness has to be the greatest threat.
As you should know, Creon, it's your problem.
I will not trade insults with a prophet.
It's an insult to blind of a fake.
All you so-called seers, you all have a price.
And rulers too have a name for being corrupt.
You realize you're talking to your king!
A king, my words, once helped save this city.
Your second sight has been well off since then.
My second sight scares me, and should scare you too.
Scare me then, but don't expect a bribe.
Talk of bribes won't shield you from the truth.
The decision that I take under for sale, Tiresias.
Then listen, Creon, and listen carefully. The sun won't ride its tread round the sky very much longer before flesh of your flesh answers cut for your enactments. This is what you'll get for the rusting down of the sunlight to the shade. You're buried or alive, and amongst the living, you're forbidden to bury of one dead. One who by rights belongs to the gods below. You're violating their prerogatives. No earthly power, no god in upper air exerts authority over the dead. So henceforth, therefore, they'll lie in wait for you, the inexorable ones, the furies who destroy. Then tell me, when a lamentation starts, when the women rails and men howl, rage your walls, then tell me I've been bribed. And tell me it again. When enemy cities rise to avenge each corpse you've left dishonored on a battlefield, they turn to filth. I remember, and the crows would just puddle and poke in it to fly back to the foully city of droppings of its dead. Oh no, I'm not the target. I'm the archer, and my shafts are tipped with truth. And they stick deep! Well, that's my time. I'll confront someone younger now to see if he can control his tongue and maybe see things in a truer light.
He's gone, my lord, but his words won't go away. Never in all my days was that man wrong. When he spoke, the city knew to listen.
I know. I listen too. And learn from him. I hate to climb down, but something's gathering head.
Now of all times, you must heed good advice.
What's to be done? Tell me and I'll do it.
Set the girl free from behind the rocks and make a burial mound for her brother's corpse.
Set the girl free? You want me to renege?
Immediately! In case the gods strike first!
It goes against the grain. But I'm beaten. Fate has the upper hand now.
Do it then, and do it yourself, quickly.
Right. All hands gotta move on. Here and now, the judgment has been reversed. Take your crowbars, take picks up to the hill. I walled her in, and therefore I should be there to bring her out. In my heart of hearts, I know what must be done. Until we breathe our last breath, we must keep the established law.
dragon's teeth call on you, Dionysus. We who lived where Cadmus sowed, the dragon's teeth call on you, Dionysus.
struck your birthplace. Oh, Dionysus appear with men and maidens headlong, and dance the world to rights. The sunlight from Parnassus, a dazzle on the gulf. Be the necklace fire of stars, the cauterizing lightning, bewilder us with good. We who live where Cadmus sowed, the dragon's teeth call on you, Dionysus. We who live where Cadmus sowed, the dragon's teeth call on you, Dionysus. Dionysus, 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 Dionysus.
Citizens! Oh, neighbors! Fellow citizens! You don't need me to tell you about life. You've seen it all. No one can predict what lies ahead. Take our own man Creon. He saved us. He saved our country, and there he was, strong king, strong man in charge, strong head of family, and now all's been lost. He might as well be dead. I always say when you lose your happiness, you lose your life. You can dwell in state and have all the trappings of success and style, but if you can't enjoy it in your heart, what does it mean? If your joy in life is destroyed, you're left with the mirage, shadows, and the ash.
Is this more bad news for the royal house?
Dead, the dead, and the living we bear the guilt.
Who was killed? Who did the killing? Quick!
Haman was killed.
But by himself or by Creon?
By himself, for the blood on his father's hand.
Oh, Tiresias, mighty seer! It has come to pass! Oh, Tiresias!
We must make sense of it the best we can.
Eurydice! The queen, look! She's on her way! Distracted, she must have heard the news.
I am in dread. My hand was on the latch of the little gate into the temple shrine. Then I heard keening in the house and fainted. Oh, citizens, there's not any of you here who's better than I what wailing like that means. I know what to expect. Just say what happened.
I could tell you the whole thing, man. There's no sense in making a liar out of myself. Right from the start, I was by your husband's side. All of us climbing the hill. Sure enough, it was still there. Polynices' corpse. But what the dogs had left of it. So we prayed to the gods of the crossroads and to Pluto to hold back their anger and to ignore the pitilessness of that desecration. We washed the remains in purifying water. We gathered sticks to make enough of a fire to burn them decently. And as all was right, we piled the home ground over him at last. Then off we went, up to that cave mouth, and deep in that unholy vault, we could hear such terrible howling that we have to call for Creon. And when Creon comes, he howls and he knows. Oh, hide me from myself, he shouts, for I face the saddest door I've ever faced. I hear my son's voice in there, come on, he shouts. Tumble the stones and break through. Tell me if that's Haman in there. So we tumbled the stones as he had ordered, and we looked into the gallery, and we could see Antigone there, hanging by her neck from a linen noose, and Haman on the ground beside her, with his arms about her waist, imploring the underworld, lamenting his dead bride, and shouting execrations against Creon. But Creon, he couldn't help himself. He walked towards the boy, pleading with open arms and calling him son. Told him to watch himself, and that he was just having a fit. But Haman, he spat in his face
and lunged at him with his two-edged sword and would have gotten him if Creon had dodged. Then before we knew where we were, Haman had turned the sword on himself and plunged it halfway into his own side. And as he was collapsing, with his arm still clung to the girl, blood came spurting out of his mouth onto her white cheek. And that was the kiss he gave his bride-to-be, a wedding witnessed in the halls of death, one to teach us living witnesses the mortal cost of ill-judged deeds and words.
But not a single word from her. I wish there had been a cry or a single tear.
Maybe she needs privacy inside the house. Maybe she can't give vent to grief in public. I hope that's it. I too am afraid.
That silence is a danger in itself.
She shouldn't go in there unattended.
Look, stand back. It's the king coming to bury his own. How could the likes of us foresee this and not him?
Behold, your king of Rome, wrong-headed on the throne, wrong-headed in the hall, wrong-footed by the gods, and you, dear son, dead son, I was wrong to marry you.
It's too late. Alas, you've learned.
The hammer blow of justice has caught me and brought me low. I'm under the wheels of the world, smashed to bits by God. My lord, you have bowed down to grief enough, but you must brace yourself to suffer more. What can be worse than worse? What has happened now? The one who has brought your son into the world has taken leave of it. Your queen's lifeblood is on the palace floor. Let the hounds of Hades lick it. Why am I clapped like bread in the ugly jaws of death? I will kill that death has made an attack for the second time. Your words are tooth and claw. Say again! The news of the queen.
It does not need to be said. It cannot be hidden.
Mother and child both. A wife and father dead. No, my lord. She felt the stroke herself. The sword was two-edged, and so was the grief for her two sons. Macarius died defending Thebes. Haman killed himself. But as the dark stole down over her eyes, she called you death dealer and cursed your name. Why doesn't someone take a two-edged sword to me? The dark is on me too. Death dealer, she said, because you and your doings failed her children. And then she raised her hand to do the deed. No. When she heard how Haman had stabbed himself, she went and took your sword from its scabbard and buried it in her heart. Let every verdict be pronounced against me. She was guiltless. It was my hand on the hill. My hand that did the deed. Take me out of your sight. I'm nothing now. Treat me as nothing.
This is right. If right could ever come from wrongs like yours. This is good. When the worst has to be faced, the best thing to do is to face it quickly.
The quicker it comes, the better. I want to hurry death. I want to be free of the dread of waking up in the morning, waking up at night. All I pray for now is the dawn of my last day.
Bear with the present. The future is a cloth waiting to be cut.
I still have prayed my prayers.
You've prayed enough. There is no protection. You courted calamity. Resign yourself.
Take me, hide me, blindfold me from these and keep your distance. Everything I've touched, I've destroyed. I have nobody to turn to, nowhere I can go. My recklessness and pride I paid for in the end. The blow came quick.
Wise conduct is the key to happiness. Always rule by the gods and reverence them. Those who overbear will be brought to grief. Fate will flail them on its winnowing floor, and in due season, teach them to be wise.